Pakistan's former Prime Minister has been jailed and moved to Attock jail in Punjab province. The court sentenced him to 3 years in prison for illegally selling state gifts, potentially barring the opposition leader from contesting an upcoming election. Former Pakistan Prime Minister has been convicted for making profits from the gifts that he received in his state capacity during 2018 to 2022. These gifts were worth over $635,000. After his arrest, Imran Khan was sent to the 118-year-old Attock jail. Many of Imran Khan's adversaries have also spent jail time in Attock, including former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, incumbent Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, former President Asif Ali Zardari. Even Imran Khan's party colleague Shah Mahmood Qureshi has spent time in Attock jail. Attock Fort, where one of the jails is located, was built during the reign of Emperor Akbar. In a recorded message released by his party, Khan urged his supporters to not sit quietly at home.
मेरे पाकिस्तानियों, जब तक ये पैगाम आप तक पहुंचेगा, मुझे ये अरेस्ट कर चुके होंगे और मैं जेल में होऊंगा। तो मेरी आपसे सिर्फ एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है, अपील है कि आपने घरों में चुप करके नहीं बैठना। मैं ये जो जदोजहद कर रहा हूँ, ये अपनी ज़ात के लिए नहीं कर रहा, ये अपनी कौम के लिए कर रहा हूँ, आपके लिए कर रहा हूँ, आपके बच्चों के मुस्तकबिल के लिए कर रहा हूँ। अगर आप अपने हकूक़ के लिए नहीं खड़े होंगे, आप ग़ुलामों की ज़िंदगी गुजारेंगे, और ग़ुलामों की कोई ज़िंदगी नहीं होती। ग़ुलाम ऐसे होते हैं जैसे चूंटियां ज़मीन पे होती हैं, उनके ऊपर परवाज़ नहीं होती।
Some small scattered protests by his supporters broke out across the country after police arrested the former international cricket star. Many of his supporters were also arrested.
हम पुरअमन एहतजाज करने वाले लोग हैं, हम पुरअमन लोग हैं। हमारा लीडर भी पुरअमन था, हमारे वर्कर्स, हमारे जो सारे लीडर्स हैं वो पुरअमन लोग हैं। इंशाल्लाह हम खान साहब के जो नीचे जो जितने भी हमारे लीडर्स हैं, उनके जो हमारे साथ राबते हैं, जो भी इंशाल्लाह वो हमें लाएअमल देंगे, इंशाल्लाह हम उस पर चलेंगे।
The spokesperson for Khan's party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, has said that the party will contest his arrest in both the High Court and the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, Khan's lawyer, Shoaib Shaheen, has said that the arrest was a fixed march.
So, former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, Chairman Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, has been arrested illegally once again. It's a shame on the judiciary, and it's a shame on Pakistan today. It's a very dark and sad day that Imran Khan's legal team wasn't even allowed to present his arguments. Today wasn't a day of any decisions to be taken or a verdict to be given by a court, yet it did. Funny enough, it was the last day of this judge before he went on his holiday leave. This arrest obviously is going to be contested again and appealed in the High Court and in the Supreme Court. But these questions need to be asked by international media, by local media, by influencers, and by the international community as well. That why is Imran Khan's legal team not allowed to present his arguments? Why are they not allowed to defend the case? Why is Imran Khan being arrested without having a fair trial? Why is this being done just before elections?
ये गिरफ्तारी 5 मिनट के अंदर साबित और जाहिर करती है कि इसका मतलब मैच फिक्स था और मैनेज था।
Meanwhile, Pakistan's Minister of Information and Broadcasting has rejected the speculations that Khan's arrest was politically motivated.
इमरान खान साहब की गिरफ्तारी, उनकी चोरी, उनकी करप्ट प्रैक्टिसेस जो आज प्रूव हुई हैं ट्रायल कोर्ट के बाद, उसका इलेक्शन से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है।
This is a latest in a series of blows that have weakened Khan's political standing, as this move is likely to bar him from standing in elections due later this year. Anyone convicted of a criminal offence is disqualified from contesting elections in Pakistan. Meanwhile, the parliament is likely to be dissolved in the next 2 weeks before it completes its term, with a national vote to be held by mid-November or earlier. Let's talk more about this. Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik is now joining us live from Islamabad. Anas Malik, good to see you. Imran Khan spent last night in prison. There were protests reported in Peshawar. His party says they will contest the arrest both at the High Court and also the Supreme Court. Are there more reactions following the jailing of the former Prime Minister?
Well, the only reactions that we have seen, Eric, are reactions from the government, and they have, in fact, welcomed this arrest while distancing themselves with the court order. They said that they had nothing to do with it. It is not politically motivated. You heard the Information Minister, Maryam Aurangzeb, yesterday as well be played out at probably. And the PTI, on the other hand, has rejected the arrest. Its leaders are coming forward and asking people to come out and do a peaceful protest. We've seen sporadic protests since last evening in parts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which was previously ruled by Imran Khan for over 10 years or at least 8.5 years. But if I talk to you overall situation in the country, we haven't seen any major protest or even a sizable or notable protest on the part of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, something that could perhaps be resisted, perhaps because it is because of the fear that those who had protested in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa were arrested as well by the police. Now, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has issued a statement and has said, and I quote, "Chairman's legal team has been denied access to him as of now. Authorities have asked them to revert on Monday, the 7th of August. Authorities were reasoned with the point of access was not granted on Sunday. There could be a possible delay in getting documents signed from the chairman, which is Imran Khan, leaving very short time to revert back to the court in time, but to no avail." Unquote. This is what the statement that has been issued by Imran Khan's legal team, alleging that they have lack of access, or rather no access to him, despite of the repeated requests, which they believe is a travesty of justice and a violation of the law and constitution, and also a violation of the rights of a prisoner that has been enshrined in the constitution. Eric?
Anas Malik, the arrest and detention happened on a weekend. What should we expect from tomorrow and this week going forward?
Well, they have to move to a higher court, which the PTI team has already done. They've moved to the Lahore High Court. I believe they will also be moving to the Islamabad High Court tomorrow because of the jurisdiction of the judgment, and then onwards to the Supreme Court. I would not be surprised if they directly move towards the Supreme Court. In fact, yesterday, the PTI legal team did try to reach out to the Supreme Court, but they did not pay the 250 Pakistani Rupees fees, which is almost equivalent to $2 or $1, in fact. And they had some other legal objections, to which the registrar had returned the petition and said that you need to pay the fees and remove those objections. So I would not be surprised that if they move to the Supreme Court seeking an urgent hearing, but then all eyes would be on Chief Justice Omar Ata Bandial. We've previously seen him giving unprecedented relief to Imran Khan under the pretext of the violation of law. So whether there is more relief incoming, of late Imran Khan has been knocking the door of the Supreme Court, but to no avail, because the Supreme Court, other justices had refused to interfere in the matters of the trial court, asking him to approach the relevant forum. So all in all, an interesting week ahead, because tomorrow, the 7th, is when the joint session of the parliament is as well. 8th is probably the last day of the government. 9th is when the government, the Prime Minister has announced that he will be sending the summary for the dissolution of the Assembly. So the Assemblies can either be dissolved on the 9th, on the 10th, or by virtue of the timing, in case if the President does not accept the dissolution, on the 11th. So a very interesting week ahead, politically speaking, and you might as well perhaps see some relief that Imran Khan expects to come out in some hours from now. That is only if his petition is taken up by the Supreme Court.
All right. I've been talking to our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik live from Islamabad. Anas Malik, thank you.